What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Tia and Shane Show. What we're doing now, guys, is a bit of insight for us leading into the semi-finals for the MAC event. So disclaimer as well, this may be the last one that we do until after the weekend. So again, appreciate your support. Please leave a thumbs up for this video, even though I'm starting it. I just want to see some love before we go into it. But what I do want to raise or bring attention quickly as well, or to the front of everyone's mind, is that leading into this competition, our approach is more of the regional style format of how we would do a lot of that. Given that this is a progression towards the games as well, we're conscious that our main focus is the CrossFit Games at the back end of July. But we understand mentally and physically we want to test where we're at and see what we can do, obviously, to improve for the next phase beyond the semi-finals. So I guess my approach more for this is essentially being conscious of what the limitations are for a regional style setting and implementing that style of training into our programming, and I hope that makes sense. An example of that is we've cut down our swimming volume just to incorporate another set or another session on the assault runner. That'd be a classic example there. But again, for the most part, training is the same, right? I guess that's across the board for everybody. We're just training, making sure that fitness is what they're after, and we're just going to try to keep working on that.
If you had to give a percent, what would you say you want their fitness to be at right now?
I think, see, that's tough. Percent to be fit. I obviously want them to be very fit when it comes to competition. Peaking, like ultimate peaking, I certainly don't want that to be the focal point right now. I'd rather them have executed what we've tried to achieve in the off season or the pre-season, if that makes sense. So for instance, we've been working a lot on our strength phase, right? So I would love for that to be an element thrown in regionals so that they get to highlight or to showcase their strength development. As peak fitness, it's hard to measure, right? I want them to be fit always when they compete and prepared. It's a big component of ours. So yeah, I hope that answers it.
Back in the day when regionals was a thing, I would 100% say yes. The last regionals was back in 2018, and when I look at my performances and how I was an athlete on and off the competition floor, I think I've definitely built a lot more experience through the exposure that I've had. You know, competing so much more through the, sanctional events. They definitely gave me a lot more, experience, if you will. And how I'm approaching the semi-finals compared to how I used to approach the regionals, it is very similar, but it's also very different because I'm a different person as well. When it comes to me as an athlete, me as an individual, I think that, you know, you can learn and grow from every single experience. And the semi-finals is a very similar qualifying process to regionals, but it's going to be very, very different in the way, you know, I perform, how I prep for the competition, how I compete, and you know, I think it's very fair to say that I'm going to be very different competing in the semi-finals this year compared to where I was at the CrossFit Games. You know, I think I learned a lot from those last CrossFit Games. So, you know, every competition is different because you always will learn something and you will always evolve and become a better athlete, a better individual, and I'm just really, really looking forward to being able to compete in person and have a season that is in person and has spectators and feels just normal compared to the last, you know, 12 months that we've had. When it comes to celebrations, I think back in the day I never really wanted to like celebrate because you know, I guess I was nervous to draw attention to myself, and you know, there's been times where I've celebrated so much, it's just naturally happened. And you know, at the time I've just literally done whatever the body does, you know. It's not something that I'm like, okay, after I cross the line on this particular workout, I'm just going to have my fists up in the air and I'm gonna be like, come on. It's something that naturally happens, and I just get so fired up. And you know, it may not even be through a workout that, you know, I've either won or I felt really good at. It could have just been something happened during that workout that I just get so fired up that all of a sudden my emotions take over. So I'm sure that there's going to be some times throughout the semifinals that I may have that. I hope I do, because that's, you know, when you're really enjoying what you're doing, and like I just get so fired up with it. Two celebrations that come to mind is one that where I'm crossing the lines and my hands and my fists are up in the air. And I'm screaming something at the top of my lungs, or where I'm coming in underneath and I'm cheering and screaming something, you know, with my hands down. Tell me which ones in the comments that you like the best and which gives you the goosebumps, if you will. I think I would probably have to say mine would be coming down below and just getting like really fired up, because I just know it's gonna be a good day.
Right guys, so I hope you enjoyed this another episode with us. Again, this will probably be the last one until the MAC event, but that said, if you guys are heading to MAC, please come say hello. We appreciate the support that you guys give Tia, the rest of our team, but certainly myself as well. So if you have, let's say, a cutout of my face, which I doubt it, but in the off chance that you do, I guarantee you I'll sign it. So please come say hello to the team, say hello to myself. If you see Brandon there, make sure you say hello to him. I'm sure he'll appreciate it, and thanks for tuning in.
Oh yeah. Yo, let's do this. Got picture homie rolling. Let me offer my condolence. You don't know just how I'm doing. And the silence go them broke, cause they know him for talking fluent. Got him under the influence, the truest, talking to him. But it's on your ego.